Hello students, already we have completed about the atoms and molecules, third chapter. So we are going to discuss about the new chapter, that is the structure of atom. So that means the structure of atom means what should be the inside arrangement of the subatomic particle like the electron, proton and neutron. That different atomic model we will be reading here, as well as the different properties which will explain by the structure of atom, that also we are going to explain here. So first of all, so far we have learned these things. The smallest particle of the element is known as the atoms, and according to Dalton, atom cannot be divided into a further subatomic particles or further some things. Now there are some ancient phenomena, just like see the charging by rubbing. See, if we actually rub an ebonite rod with a silk cloth, then what we get? That both get charges. One get positive, another get negative. Now, ever you think that what is the cause that why one uncharged particle on rubbing becomes the charged one? So, suppose see the ebonite rod will get the negative charge. That means the electron or the negatively charged particle actually resides on its surface now, and the ebonite rod the positive charge. So from where this actually negatively charged particle comes out? And also see another example I can give you, that after combing your dry hair, if you place the crystal comb in front of a small piece of paper, you will be observe that the papers are getting attracted towards the comb. How it happens? Obviously some particles are there inside the atom that comes out during the charging by rubbing. So this idea led to a discovery of a subatomic particle is known as the electron. Electron was discovered by scientist J.J. Thomson. How he discovered this one? He discovered it by his discharge tube experiment or the cathode ray tube experiment. What is this? This is a hard glass tube, okay, which have two metal electrodes at the two ends. And now these electrodes were connected to a very high voltage electric source. Around 11,000 volt electric current was given there. Now see, also this was fitted with a vacuum pump which can evacuate the air present inside it. This is the simple arrangement. Now what he has observed here, when he actually allowed the 11,000 volt electric current, then initially it was shown nothing, and also see side opposite to that of the cathode was coated with a fluorescent or the phosphorus materials. Now here what happens, see, when he actually initially given the 11,000 volt electric current, nothing was observed inside the tube. Then see, with the help of the vacuum pump, he reduced the pressure. After that, what he has observed? He observed that once a ray of light in the form of streak ray of light, twinkling light, is coming from cathode and it is heading towards the anode. And see, this was actually further evidenced by when this ray was actually striking on the behind the wall of the anode, which was coated with the fluorescent or the phosphorus material. This was started glowing. See, then the question is there, how this twinkling ray or the streak ray of light is coming. Initially, when he passed that 11,000 volt electric current, that time what happened? That time the tube was filled with the air. So we know that the air is a bad conductor of electricity. Now when he reduced the air pressure with the vacuum pump, then what happened here? The cathode actually originating some negatively charged particles. Cathodes are originating from some negatively charged particles, and that was moving towards the anode. Okay, now see, this rays was named by cathode rays as it was originating from the side of cathode and heading towards the anode. Then its property was actually started by scientist Thomson. First property was that it travels in a straight line. Second property was started by placing a rotating wheel. And when actually see, it was actually a rotating wheel was placed over there. Then what happened? Then when it was striking to this wheel, then wheel starts rotating. It shows that obviously this rays consist of particles, and these particles, when they are actually striking on this wheel, it actually rotates it. So this actually confirms that the cathode ray consists of particles. That is the particle nature of the cathode rays. Third property, see, it is a negatively charged particle. This can be concluded from the fact that it is means originating from the cathode and heading towards the anode. Anode means this is a positive charge electrode and this is a negative charge electrode. So as see, it is heading towards the positive charge. So we can conclude that the rays consist of negatively charged particles, and that is attracted by the positive charge anode. So this confirms that the cathode ray is negatively charged particle. Further see, when it was placed in an electric field. So when it was coming towards the negative end, it was found that instead of traveling in straight line, it's actually started to travel in a curved line, means it is getting repelled by the negative electrode and getting attracted by the positive electrode. So in this way, the cathode rays properties were determined, and later on scientist Stoney suggested that these particles which are originating from the cathode and are heading towards the anode should be named as electron, means negative charge particle. And then later scientist Thomson accepted it, and its name was given by the electron, which is a negatively charged particle. So in this way, the electron was discovered by scientist J.J. Thomson, and later on its charge was determined, and that is the electronic charge is taken as the 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Next, see, the charge mass of the electron also was determined, and in SI system the mass of the electron is taken as 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. Soon after the discovery of electron, it was came into the mind that the atoms are electrically neutral. As the atoms are electrically neutral, that means there may be a positive charge particle present inside the atom, then otherwise how it will be neutral. So this idea led to a discovery of another subatomic particle that is known as the proton. And proton was discovered by scientist E. Goldstein, or the Eugen Goldstein. Now see what he did. He did some arrangement in the cathode ray tube or the discharge tube in another one. How? He placed the cathode towards the middle, not at the end, and he used a perforated cathode, means there are some small holes through which the electron can travel. Now here see, also he filled this with the hydrogen gas. This tube he filled with the hydrogen gas. Now again see, the same amount of electric current, means more than 11,000 volt electric current he placed over there, and also he painted the wall behind the cathode with a phosphorescent material or the fluorescent material. Now see what you observe, when he was actually giving this much amount of electric current, another ray of light is coming from anode, from the direction of anode, and it is heading towards the cathode. Then how he explained and also this was confirmed by when this rays actually moves through the perforation of this cathode and striking on this wall behind the cathode, it started glowing as there is some fluorescent material. Now how he confirmed this one, means how he actually explained this formation of this type of rays. See here, actually hydrogen gas was there. With the help of this high voltage electric current, it comes here. When it comes here, then it breaks down to give hydrogen atom. Now the electron is originating from the cathode. Electron is whatever the electron is originating from the cathode, that is striking to the hydrogen, and hydrogen there is the proton and electron, and this electron of the hydrogen was knocked out due to the repulsion, leaving behind a positive charge residue, and this positive charge will be attracted by the cathode with a greater amount of force, so that it starts moving towards the cathode, and through the, as see, the attraction force is very high, so it moves through this perforation and it strikes to the wall behind the cathode. So in this way, see, as see, it is actually anode rays or the positively charged rays not originating from the anode, it is originating from the gas present inside the tube, but still it confirms that there is something, that is the positively charged substance present inside the atom. Now its property also was studied. First property is that it actually travels in a straight line. Second property, it said that it consists of the positive charge particle. Amount of positive charge same, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This will be the positive charge. Then mass also was determined, and in this way the proton electron was discovered. This discovery of electron and proton actually gives a death blow to the Dalton's atomic theory, which said that atoms cannot be divided further into a subatomic particle. But the scientists Goldstein as well as the Thomson showed that by dividing the atom we can get more subatomic particle like the electron and proton. Later on, now the scientists have started to think about what should be the inside arrangement, and different scientists propose different atomic model. So atomic model we will be discussing in a separate class. I hope that this will help you to understand the discovery and the properties of cathode rays as well as the anode rays. That's all. Thank you.